Welcome, welcome, welcome to the next market prep, market vlog, whatever we want to call it. We're going to go through the stuff that I've made over the last few weeks. I do have a market. It's actually a market, a farmer's market, which is coming up Saturday, what date is it? The 23rd. Never done a farmer's market before, and this will be interesting. So let's go through what we got here. Let's just start going through it, and I'll show you what we got, and I'll kind of tell you what I did. Okay, so where do I start? I kind of looked at things that had sold in the past and things I wanted to replenish, and being fall, I had some fall ideas I wanted to incorporate. So where did I start? I think I started with this yarn here. So my thought was, if I started some of these smaller skeins of yarn, because these are only, let's see, I'll tell you, they are 185 yards in each of these. My plan was make something, use up all of this yarn, okay? So I started with this guy because I had these little canvas pouches, and I bought them with the purpose in mind of putting a canvas pouch inside a crochet cover. And I did it. I sewed the little bag right in there. It opens up. I had to mess with sizing a little bit, but now we actually have a pouch that is very solid, no holes, all that. And I like how the pattern turned out. Then I just made a little heart just to throw on the zipper pull, just to make it cute. That was the first project I made. All right. Then I went on to a larger project. A larger project being this little bag. Here's the little bag. And I love, again, look at how different the colors fall when you do it this way. It's so cool, some of this variegated yarn. And I added a little strap this time. So this one hangs on a little strap. It's a clutch, okay? My stepdaughter and I were talking about it one day, and I already had this idea in mind, and she was like, oh yeah. She says, and then, you could just make the little wrist thing. She says, I'd buy one of those. Well, here we go. Here's just a little keychain. Put it on your wrist, put your keys on there, you're ready to go. So these 3 projects right here used up this yarn to there's virtually nothing left. All right, so those are 3 items I made. Then I went to another yarn, and that was the hipster cotton yarn. Hipster cotton is a great yarn. It, again, is not very, it was 229 yards. It's got more yardage. So I made this, right? Isn't it adorable? I love it. Because I sold 3 bucket hats at that last market, and I thought, let's make some more bucket hats. So I made this. What did I make next? Oh, I made another one of the little keychain wristlet things. So those are just going to go on my keychain. I got a spinner. It's getting kind of full now, but I've got room for a couple more. Then I had a little bit of yarn left. I didn't have much left. I was really running out. So I came up with this idea. I had these cups. That were left over from a retreat. And I was like, okay, let's make a cup cozy. And I had these little tags. So I put a little tag on it, made a little cup cozy, and it's super cute, right? I wasn't done with the yarn though. So I found patterns. I went and looked for hipster cotton because this one's a little different because it's a 3-weight. You have to make sure you alter patterns or you find something designed for a 3-weight yarn. So I made this coaster, and I made this coaster. And so this little thing right here, I'm going to sell as a set. I'm probably I'll display it like this because I can't leave the coasters inside. People wouldn't see it. But I was thinking $10 for this, but then I was like, oh yeah, I have coasters. So what, maybe 12? Maybe 12. All right, so there's that. Okay, so I used up all of those. What did I do next? Where did I go next? I think I did some of this stuff. I sold both of my ice cream cone keychains. The pattern I used before was smaller. They came out smaller than these, but these are adorable, right? They're adorable. I've shown these, mint chocolate chip and some sherbet. Love it. So I made those. I also sold my strawberry keychains. So we made some more strawberry keychains. And I used different yarn this time. I used this red with yellow last time. I sold it, but I like it much better with this like sagey green. So I have two strawberries, two ice creams. Then I worked with a brand new yarn that is now in the trash. I will never use it again. It was Yarn Art Jeans, a plushy yarn. Horrible, horrible yarn. You can't make a magic ring with it. You can't tighten the magic ring. It would literally just pull off the string. The fuzzy stuff would just pull off the string. I'm surprised I managed to get these two little guys made. Anyhow, I got two itty bitty little pumpkins on keychains. These all sell for less, of course, because they're small, but I don't know. I think the keychains, these are big honkin' size keychains. So I'm thinking, I think I was selling them for $8, and I think I need to change that. Maybe make them 10 for these bigger ones. Maybe 6 or 5 for these little bitty guys. I think they're all going to be different prices. And then I did a Dollar Tree kit. I'm going to take this off. It's hot in here. A Dollar Tree kit, okay? I had a hard time figuring out how to sew this together to make the donut. It's a donut, and I had a hard time with it. I tried 3 different times before I finally got it sewn together. I had to go actually find a video. Found a video of somebody that had done the Dollar Tree kit, actually, because this is 2 pieces. A lot of times donuts aren't made in 2 pieces. And then once I got done, I realized his eyes were supposed to go over here, but I'm like, you know what? It's hanging like this. There's his eyeballs. I don't care. Another keychain. Then I moved on to this. No, I moved on to this guy. This one turned out well. This was like a $1.99 kit. I still need to glue these. I'm going to go get my glue. I'm going to glue the little white little spots down. This was a $1.99 kit from Hobby Lobby. See, this is worth $10. I think, these are a little work because you have to put all the little stuff on them. I don't know, $10, $8. $8 doesn't seem like enough. I don't know. Okay, so anyhow, the little mushroom turned out good. I do need to get my glue, and I'm going to glue the little spots on because I thought I'd be slick and just try to tie them on with the 2 ends of the yarn. And they're in there, but they kind of comes up a little bit. So I think I'm going to get some glue and just glue them down. Okay, where do we go after that? We went to this guy next. I finally got some different orange yarn. After hunting everywhere I could think of to go to find orange plushy yarn, I finally found some at Dollar Tree. So I got a couple skeins from Dollar Tree to make this little pumpkin guy. The grandkids love him. Okay, they think he's adorable. I think he's cute too. He sits perfectly flat. He's just like, he's perfect. He's perfect. Okay. I do have some more orange plushy yarns coming. A couple different kinds, I think, to try them out. We'll see how it goes. Okay. So there's that guy. Then I started a project. Then I started this thing like I put projects on a slip of paper and folded them up, and I put them in my little mushroom container and started pulling for, this is how much I had left of the hipster cotton. Sorry, I had a little bit of hipster cotton left, that much. It's laying over here on the counter. So then I started pulling for projects. What should I work on? Because I have a hard time deciding. First thing that came up was a pumpkin. And I'm like, okay, I got the perfect yarn for the pumpkin. This, I do need the glue. I got to get glue because I have to glue this as well. I love it. I absolutely love this. I love the colors of it. I love how it's striped like this, the bobbles. I worked on this for a day, probably a day. We were driving around a lot that day, and I just kept crocheting in the car as we drove around, but it is so cool. I like it so much. This was this Loops and Threads facet yarn, and it has, how much does it have? 279 yards. This one I struggled to use up. Okay, I just had to keep coming up with more and more projects. So there's the pumpkin. I love him. I don't know how much I'm going to charge for this pumpkin. I have no idea. It did take a little bit of work because these are all like bobble stitches. All of these are bobble stitches. So you don't have to like run your yarn around to like pull it in. It just naturally makes like the lines with the bobbles. I love it. Love this pumpkin. All right. So then I saw a cute little bag charm. Made a little bag charm. I had put some beads on it. I thought this will use up yarn. It didn't use up nearly enough. Not nearly enough yarn did this use up. So I still had plenty of yarn left over. So then I went and I thought, well, let me try another cup cozy. So we have another cup cozy and another little tag. Well, I still had yarn left over. I still had yarn. So this one, I had enough to get one coaster. So he's a one coaster kind of situation. But I think they're so cute. I mean, seriously, aren't they cute? I like them. One coaster for this one, two coasters for the other one. It is what it is. Oh, and somewhere along the way, this is the yarn I had left for that. That's all I had. And somewhere along the way, out of the little jar, I pulled cherries. I mean, come on. They're so stinking cute. Okay? They're easy to make, super easy to make. They're not easy to get them to hang like eyeballs out for both of, okay, that's about as close as I can get. But I'm like, you tie them because they each get their own stem and you do the leaf at the end of the stem. And then you tie the two stems together to make your little clump of cherries. So another keychain, another, I don't know. See, this one, I don't know. 8. Should I stick with 8 for these guys? 8, 8, and 8 for like these. This guy, 10. I mean, he could go in the 8, I suppose. Leave the keychains at 8. Make this one 10. And these 5. I guess. Something like that. So I got a pile of keychains. And that's all I've made. That's all I've made. I mean, over the course of, I don't know, a couple weeks. Has it been a couple weeks? Probably. So I got to get to pricing stuff. I'm not going to price the keychains because I have a sign and I just have the sign in front of the keychain thing. And we'll price it that way. So the other things, this I think I'll just hang on the keychain rack, right? It's not truly a keychain. It's more of a bag charm, but it doesn't have a big long loop here either. Anyhow, it will go with that. So I don't have that much to price actually. So, all right, I better get that done. And then I have to work on the next project that I pulled from the jar. Yeah. All right, let me get busy. truck right on the corner. Right on the corner. But we're late. I've got like 40 minutes to get set up. I don't know how we're running so late, but it's annoying. Anyhow, get this stuff set up as quick as I can. Hopefully Dale comes back quickly with the truck, or from parking the truck, and helps me get this stuff done. Let's go, let's go. Well, it's 9:20. We're set up. Dale has crammed as much stuff over here as humanly possible. I swear, it's everywhere. So, I don't know. Not only did he put as much stuff on this table as he could, he put a box over here. Here's the diamond paintings. We did bring them. He's debating taking some out and leaning them up against the tables, because that kind of works. A few little things down here even. I'm like, okay, honey, all right. He hung those things there, which I hope they stay. I don't know. Clothing rack. I marked down the shawl. Come on, somebody buy the shawl. I don't think anybody will ever buy the shirt. It's okay. My bags are there. There has been like hardly anybody here. There's not that many vendors, but I mean, I have more stuff, but I feel like it kind of fit better. I really would like a bigger table. I think there's only 6 foot. I'd like an 8 foot. An 8 foot table fits. You normally get a 10 by 10 spot, so 8 foot fits for sure. But there's all my little goodies. Here's the keychains, all kinds of different keychains and little hanging things. I don't know, we'll see how that all goes. No idea. Yeah, I don't know. This could be a complete bust, but I haven't paid a dime yet because they never sent me a bill. And the guy who's kind of in charge today he doesn't really know what, he's just kind of here. So anyhow, let's hope it gets busier. The wind's picking up, which is scary. There's a possibility of rain today. I hope not, but we'll see how it goes. Just as I said there's a possibility of rain, it's sprinkling. Yeah, great. Okay, great. Sprinkling. I can hear it hitting the canopy. Oh, lovely. Please don't rain hard. Please, please stop. I think the rain's slowing down, at least for now. It really just sprinkled, which is fine. There's been like maybe a dozen people walk through here. 9:30. So this might not go all that well. So we'll see. I think it costs $10, but I haven't paid for it yet. So I don't know for sure. There's a little girl over here hopscotching. The Band Boosters is selling sweet corn over there. There's a little girl hanging out. They got a hopscotch thing drawn on the road here, and she's just jumping around having a good time. But yeah, not hardly any people here. Rain kind of keeps people away, so please stop raining. This is going to be a long day. I'm glad I brought a whole bag of stuff to crochet. This is like slow. Nobody's even really looked at anything. There's only been about 10 people that have walked by in my booth. Yeah. Well, it is what it is. You live, you learn, you try things, you know what you like, you know what doesn't work. This one's probably not for us. We're excited now. We sold the little owl lovey blanket thing. It was marked $30, and the lady just dug through her purse and found everything she could come up with. She had $23. I'm like, fine, I'll take it. Well, that's our only sale so far. At 20 to 11, 2 hours. Okay, well, it is what it is. Good Lord, we just had a huge gust of wind, and like 6 of the diamond painting things blew all over the place on the ground and everything. My clothing rack took off down the road, and my keychain thing fell off the table and came apart. Took us 15 minutes to figure out how to put it together. I'm afraid this tent canopy is going to just take off on us. This is not fun. We opted to take the canopy off the top because it was just blowing way too much. So we took that down. Dale's thinking he's going to take the whole thing down. I'm like, we'll see. I don't know why, but okay. Everything's been moved down and just crammed onto the table. That's not how we would normally display it, but hey, you know what? That's what we got to do. There's like less than an hour left, and things are still blowing and making me nervous, and I think I'm ready to go. I want to go home. Well, hello everybody. Here is our recap for the farmers market. So it was interesting trying to get signed up for it. I wasn't certain who to talk to. It was hard to contact somebody. Finally got a hold of somebody, sent in some information, and then I didn't know if I was in. So then I contacted them again and I said, am I in? What do I owe? They said, yeah, you're in. You got a spot. You'll get an invoice on Wednesday before the farmer's market. I didn't get one. So we show up. I just like, okay, I'm just going to go show up. They say I have a spot. I'm just going. Okay. So we show up and the person who normally runs it wasn't there. He had somebody just like filling in for him and he didn't have a clue. I'm like, who do I pay and how much do I pay? And he goes, I don't even know how much it is. I don't know what to tell you. He said, I'll just leave it to whoever's in charge and they'll get with you probably later. I'm like, okay. So we were running late. We stopped and we got breakfast. Dale was not very quick about eating breakfast. We just had McDonald's, you know. Anyhow, we were running late. And I had like 45 minutes maybe to set up everything. We decided not to take the big screen, you know, that we hang the smaller diamond paintings on. Decided not to take that. We did take the box of diamond paintings just in case we wanted to display a few of them around the booth. Never took a single one of them out of the box, but you'll see video. Dale set them up at the end of the table. Nobody even looked at them. Anyhow, it was very slow. There was hardly anybody there. It's like 9:30 and I haven't really seen anybody walk by the booth. The people across from us were the band boosters and they were selling sweet corn. Apparently, they probably do that quite often. And most people headed right over to the sweet corn booth. I did get to walk around. There was a lot of food, which you would expect at a farmer's market. There wasn't a lot of fruits and vegetables, but there were more like baked goods and pies and cookies and popcorn and just interesting things like that. There were a few other like booths that were crafty things. The girl beside me was making like pins. Somebody down the way was like just assorted crafts with crochet mixed in. Anyhow, that's how it went. And it was very slow. And I'm like, Dale, I think I just need to make one sale. I think it's $10. I think the fee is $10. If I sell one thing, I'll at least get my money back. So we sat there. And finally I sold something. Funny story is it was my little lovey blanket with the owl in it, you know, the little Thai owl. And this lady, she walks up and she was just like, I love that. That's so pretty. My bedroom is purple. I need that for my bedroom. And I had the price of $30 on it. And she asked me if I'd take 20. And I said, how about 25? And so she's like, okay, do you take a card? And I was like, no, I can do this. I got Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, cash, everything except card, right? So she said, let me look through my purse. And she started pulling through. She finding money. And she just kept going through things in different sections of her purse until she came up with $23. And I said, fine, I'll take it. I took her $23. She was happy as could be, and she took off with her little owl lovey. All right. So that was really our first sale of the day. All right. Then after that, the Jellycat inspired little crochet things, they were very popular. Everybody was picking those up. Everybody was looking at them. So I sold the moon, the Jellycat moon. I sold the watermelon Jellycat. I sold the star Jellycat. Okay, so those were all $10. 10, 10, 10. All right. Then I sold one little pumpkin keychain to some little boy who was running around with a little baggie with coins in it. He wanted to buy something. And so I sold him one of the little mini little pumpkin keychains for $4. So he got that. And then our last sale of the day, a lady came by and she was just in love with all the diamond painting stuff. And she kept finding this one. I love this one. I love this one. I love that one. So the first one she found was like that big round butterfly in a like hard frame with plexiglass on the front. I've had that for I don't even know how long. So she picked that up and she was carrying that around. And then she found a hot air balloon that hangs and she fell in love with that. And she's just like, oh my goodness, there's so many cute ones. And so I gave her a deal. Instead of charging her, I think the butterfly So I had $10 on the butterfly, the big butterfly, and all the other stuff is 15. So that would have been 25. I gave her a deal. I said, here, sell them both to you, $20. And she was like, okay, perfect. And so she took them for $20 and she was gone. That was our last sale. And we just kind of sat around for a while. Now, let me tell you about some things that happened. First of all, when we first got set up, it wasn't supposed to rain, but it started raining. It didn't rain much. I was happy that it didn't rain much. It basically sprinkled for a few minutes and then it was done. So that stopped. And then about noon or so, Dale had wandered off. He was talking to some people down the way. And out of the blue, completely out of the blue, this gust of wind just whoosh and literally knocked down, I don't know how many diamond painting things onto the table. Some hit the ground. Then things just kept falling. I got a keychain of plastic, like keychain spinner that I've been putting the crocheted keychains on. That hits the ground. My clothing rack is trying to blow down the street. There were some people standing near it and they kind of grabbed it and were like, ooh, and held it in place. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, what else is going to fall? What else is going to happen? I'm like, okay, I think it's done. So I thanked the ladies. I went over there and I kind of positioned the clothing rack. I made sure that was okay. And then I'm like, where's Dale? Where's Dale? So I get on the phone and I'm like, hey, I need your help. We just had a whole disaster happen. I need you to come help me. And he's like, okay, I'll be right there. He was just across the corner. I mean, I could see him and everything. So he comes back and I'm just trying to pick up stuff that's blown all over the place. There are the little keychains everywhere. The keychain holder had come apart. I thought it broke. It works with some little ball bearings to make it spin. There were ball bearings all over. I'm trying to collect those. It's like, okay. So Dale got back and then it continued to be windy the rest of the afternoon. Not terrible, but definitely windy. Things were just flopping around. Tags were blowing, things, you know. So he started like putting all the diamond painting stuff back together and moving anything that was up higher on the tops of those crates, moving those things down. And then I had an opportunity to go back later and anything that was more flat, I put up on the tops, you know. So we crowded the bottom with the taller stuff and put anything flat up high. Then it took us about at least 15, 20 minutes to figure out how to put that keychain thing back together. I didn't know how to do it. He didn't know how to do it. He tried several different things before he finally got it put back together. Got it put back together so I could put the keychains back on it. And we're back in business. But the wind kept going. And Dale was just like, do you want to just take the canopy off the top? Because it's kind of catching in the wind. And of all days, he did not bring the weights. We got weights. We got like boat anchors for weights and stuff. He did not pack those. And I'm like, I said, do you think it'll help? And he said, yeah, I think we'll just take the top off. So we took the top off, folded that up. And then he's like, let's just take the whole thing down. So we ended up taking the whole tent down. And things are still just like, you could see them like wobble and wiggle and tags flopping and, you know, my bags on the clothing rack or, you know, I'm like, I wanted to go home. I mean, I did have some sales. It only lasted till 2. So we had about 2 hours of that. And I was just like, I was nervous the whole time. I just really wanted to go home. I kept hopping up and like holding stuff like, oh my gosh, what's going to blow over now? You know, one more thing blew over at one point, but it was just like hanging off one of the crates. He like hangs them on the corners of the crate and it fell off. It did break a little piece off and I'm like, okay, I'm done. I just kept telling him, I just want to go home. I just want to go home. I think I want to go home, you know, but we stayed and we didn't have any more disasters truly, but that was not fun. That just was not fun. Now in 2 weeks, I have another market and it's outside. It just makes me nervous now. You know what I'm saying? I think what we need to do is not put any of the diamond painting, the stand-up things up on the top. Just don't put any on the top. Only put flat stuff like coasters and like just flatter stuff, notebooks. And there'll be things that are harder to see on the top, but we just can't risk putting stuff up there that's just going to catch in that wind and then it just knocks everything else over when it falls on the table. So yeah, that was our disaster. Anyhow, I think it was Monday or Tuesday after the show, I did get an email to pay an invoice, $10. It was $10. Okay. So as I sit here now, I'm going to write it in here now. The fee was 10. I'm getting better about keeping track of everything, dates, fees, how much I made, that kind of stuff. So our total was $77 minus the 10. I came home with $67. I told Dale, I'm like, well, that wasn't very much. And he said, no, but it's more than you had when you left. And I'm like, well, that's true. And I sold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things. So that's 7 things I don't have in my inventory anymore. I got room for other stuff. So anyhow, that's how the show went. And I don't know how much more prep I'm going to do for the next one because it is actually on like September 1st, 2nd, 3rd, something like that. I don't know. So no, it's later than that. It's later than that. It's like the 13th or something. Anyhow, I don't know what more I'm going to do. We'll see. I'm not like rushing to make more things. There's a few items on my list I would like to make. Those Jellycat things, they were really popular, and they finally started selling. I finally hit, a crowd that was really interested in them. I sold 3 of the little Jellycat inspired crochet items. So that was kind of fun. Anyhow, we'll see what I do. So that's the wrap up for this one, folks. And thanks for watching. And hit the like button, subscribe button, all those things so you can keep up with all the antics that we're up to. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.